Imagine the world holding its breath as a fragile thread of hope emerges from the chaos of conflict. Could this be the moment that brings peace to Gaza? In a stunning turn of events, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that both Israel and Hamas have agreed to the initial stage of a groundbreaking peace plan for Gaza. This isn't just another headline, it's a potential lifeline for hostages and a step toward ending hostilities. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this deal truly fair, or does it favor one side over the other? Stick around as we dive into the details, reactions, and the unfolding drama that has the Middle East and the world on edge. Emotional outpourings from families, tears of joy and longing. As news of the agreement spread, families of the hostages and those who've already been freed poured out their hearts on social media. Take Eli Sharabi, for instance, whose wife and children tragically lost their lives, and whose brother Yossi's remains are still in Hamas's custody. He shared a message of profound relief. What an incredible joy. I'm counting down the moments until everyone is back home safe. Matan Zengauker's mother expressed her deep emotion on X, saying, "Matan, we're coming back to me, to your loved ones, to our nation. These are the tears I've been praying for all this time." And Nimrod Cohen's mother simply declared, "My child, you're on your way home." Former British-Israeli hostage Emily Damari joined forces with another ex-hostage, Romy Gonen, to offer prayers of thanks and raise a glass with l'chaim, a Hebrew toast to life. Emily has been tirelessly advocating for the release of her friends, the Bowman twins, Gali and Ziv. Their brother Liron Berman added his voice. "Gali and Ziv, my love for you knows no bounds. You're finally coming home." These personal stories highlight the human cost of the conflict, reminding us that behind the negotiations are real people yearning for reunion. And this is the part most people miss. How these emotional reactions can sway public opinion and pressure leaders to follow through on promises. White House insights. Hostage releases kicking off soon from the White House. A senior official shared with our partners at CBS News that Israel's cabinet is set to vote on the deal tomorrow. If approved, Israel will pull back to a predetermined boundary, a process expected to wrap up in less than 24 hours. Once that's done, a 72-hour window opens for Hamas to release the Israeli hostages. The official predicts that releases could start as early as Monday, though Hamas might aim to begin even sooner if feasible. This timeline underscores the urgency and precision required in such high-stakes diplomacy, where every hour counts for those waiting anxiously. Netanyahu's optimism. A great day for Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wasted no time in responding, labeling the agreement as a tremendous day for Israel. He plans to gather his government tomorrow for approval, emphasizing the goal to welcome all our beloved hostages back home. He extended gratitude to Israel's military forces and to President Trump and his administration for their dedication to this holy mission of securing the hostages' freedom. This statement reflects a mix of relief and national pride, but it also raises questions. Is Netanyahu's enthusiasm premature, or does it signal genuine progress? Hamas's perspective, demands and declarations. Hamas has released its own statement as reported by our U.S. news partners at CBS. They describe the deal as one that will conclude the aggression against Gaza, secure the full exit of occupying forces, facilitate humanitarian assistance, and carry out a prisoner swap. The group expresses appreciation to mediators from Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, and President Trump for their efforts. They urge Trump and others to guarantee Israel's adherence to the agreement's terms. Hamas praises the Gaza populace for their extraordinary bravery, integrity, and valor, and vows to never forsake our people's fundamental rights until we attain liberty, sovereignty, and self-governance. This declaration introduces a layer of complexity. Hamas frames the deal as a victory for Palestinian aspirations, potentially sparking debate over whether it's a true ceasefire or just a pause. But here's where it gets controversial. Does Hamas's insistence on national rights mean they're open to compromise? Or is this a veiled call for more radical changes? Hamas affirms the deal, a call for compliance. In a breaking update, Hamas has confirmed the agreement in a statement, stating that a pact has been forged to halt the conflict in Gaza. They appeal to Trump and the participating nations to enforce Israel's complete adherence to the deal. Qatar's confirmation, pathways to peace. Qatar's foreign ministry has also verified the accord on the initial phase of the Gaza ceasefire plan between Israel and Hamas. A spokesperson posted on X. The facilitators declare that tonight, consensus was achieved on every aspect and execution strategy of the first segment of the Gaza truce accord, paving the way for terminating the hostilities, liberating Israeli captives and Palestinian detainees, and permitting aid to enter. Further specifics are promised soon, illustrating how international mediation can bridge divides in seemingly intractable disputes. Netanyahu's pledge will bring them all home. In another breaking development, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared in a statement, "With divine assistance, we will reunite them all with their families," alluding to the Israeli hostages detained by Hamas in Gaza. The road to agreement, intense negotiations. This announcement follows a whirlwind of talks, as detailed by our U.S. State Department correspondent, Tom Bateman. President Trump's revelation came after pivotal moments in mediated discussions between Israel and Hamas at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, alongside activity in Washington. Earlier, at the White House, Trump indicated he might head to Egypt by this weekend, possibly as soon as Friday. He mentioned that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio leaned in to whisper and pass a note signaling the deal was imminent. Reports suggest the plan entails swapping all surviving hostages for a specified number of Palestinian prisoners, coupled with Israel's retreat to a mutually agreed boundary. Exchanges are anticipated to commence shortly. White House buzz, from tension to action. Reporting live from the White House, Bernd Debusman Jr. describes the atmosphere as charged yet subdued in recent hours. Following Rubio's note, an unusually large group of journalists lingered, sensing something big was brewing. The press pool, including our BBC team, stayed on standby longer than typical. Among reporters, there was a shared hunch that a statement, or even Trump's appearance, was on the horizon. The announcement via Truth Social ignited a burst of energy. Journalists dashed to their crews, and the basement filled with the rapid clatter of keyboards. It's uncertain if more updates will follow tonight, but this scene captures the high-wire tension of diplomatic breakthroughs. Trump's proclamation, a historic accord. In a breaking alert, U.S. President Donald Trump took to social media to proclaim, "Israel and Hamas have endorsed the initial phase of our peace initiative." He elaborated, "This signifies that every hostage will be freed shortly, with Israel repositioning its forces to a negotiated boundary as foundational moves toward a robust, lasting, and eternal peace. Fair treatment for all involved." This marks a fantastic day for the Arab and Muslim communities, Israel, neighboring countries, and the United States. We extend our thanks to the intermediaries from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey, who collaborated with us to realize this monumental and unparalleled achievement. Blessed are those who foster peace. Travel plans, Trump's potential Middle East trip. As of Wednesday evening, details on President Trump's travel to the Middle East remain vague. According to Bernd Debusman Jr. at the White House, the most concrete hint came from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, noting Trump's upcoming visit to Walter Reed Medical Center for a scheduled meeting with service members and his annual health check. Upon returning to the White House, he may venture to the region soon after. This adds an element of unpredictability to the timeline, keeping everyone guessing. The note that sparked it all, Rubio's whisper. Earlier that day, the first sign of progress emerged during a White House event on domestic law enforcement and Antifa, as recorded by Bernd Debusman Jr. Secretary of State Marco Rubio joined the gathering, sitting near Trump, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. From the reporter's vantage point, Rubio appeared a bit on edge. He jotted a message on official stationery, passed it to Trump, and then bent down to murmur in his ear. Trump reviewed it, nodded approvingly, and informed the press that the note indicated we're very near to a deal. He left shortly after, stating he needed to concentrate on Middle East matters. Interestingly, earlier in the event, When queried about a possible trip to Gaza, Trump replied, "I might," mentioning plans to visit Egypt and tour the area. Trump's assurance: the deal is very close. U.S. President Donald Trump stated that a Gaza peace accord is very close, following prolonged indirect negotiations between Israel and Hamas in Egypt. This came during a Wednesday afternoon White House address, where Secretary of State Marco Rubio entered and handed him a note, seemingly urging approval of a Truth Social update on Gaza for a timely announcement. The White House also indicated Trump is contemplating a Middle East journey in the near future. A Palestinian source informed the BBC that mediators from Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey concluded 7 hours of discussions with Hamas representatives, including other Palestinian factions. Now, mediators are consulting Israel's team for final resolutions on outstanding matters. This story is evolving rapidly. Stay tuned for more as developments unfold, and this is the part most people miss. The delicate balance of power in such deals often leaves room for interpretation. Is this agreement a genuine path to peace, or merely a temporary halt that could reignite tensions? What do you think? Does Trump's involvement make this more likely to succeed, or does it complicate things further? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with Hamas's demands for full withdrawal and self-determination? Or do you see this as a step toward broader conflict? Let's discuss.